So when you're out here, one of people's biggest fear is bears, and it doesn't have to be. Um, as long as you keep a clean campsite, don't uh, don't clean the fish on the island that you are staying. Clean fish elsewhere. Put the fish remains elsewhere. Don't keep them on where you're staying. Also, do a bear hang. These are all preventative measures that you can do to prevent bear problems.
So we, that was probably the number one thing everyone, when we were talking about doing this, which we've been talking about for a long time, they were like, well, there's bears up there. It's like, well, what about the bears? Or like, but the bears. And that's really all anyone was super worried about was the bears. And yeah, of course there are bears here, but first off, we haven't seen one yet.
Right.
You know, maybe one's seen us, but we haven't seen a bear. We've seen a moose and a half.
Right.
Right. There's a moose just across the lake here this morning, and he must have seen us before we saw him, and he took off.
Right.
You could hear him crashing through the, like, knocking trees down. And we had a beaver frat party back here, yesterday, but we haven't seen any bears. And there's some practical tips. You know, we've got the bear hang, like Nick said. There's the clean your fish somewhere where you aren't going to be sleeping. Bury it, stuff like that. But like Dylan, who's at the lodge where we started off at, he said, just the basic stuff. It's the basic stuff you hear from everywhere. Basically, like, if you see, well, first off, these are black bears. They're not brown bears. They're not grizzly bears. They're black bears. So as Dylan described them, they're basically big raccoons. They're scavengers. If you make yourself look big, give them a, hey, bear, they're going to probably run away because they're afraid of you. If you get a big one, he said, and if the big one, if you're like, hey, bear, and he's not moving, you back away. You basically just don't keep walking towards him. If they bluff charge you, you bluff charge them back. Oftentimes they'll get scared and run away. The biggest thing is you don't ever turn your back on a bear. Like, you don't turn and walk away. You don't turn, you sure as well don't turn and run away, because they're going to chase you then. And if you have like a mama bear with cubs, you 100% back away. Like, you don't want to try and intimidate or be aggressive, because it's terrible. It's a terrible idea. But your regular black bear by himself, be aggressive, be kind of intimidating, and they'll run away. And like, there's some other things, like, that's the core everyone tells you about bears. But there are some other things, like I have some other plans personally that I use. For instance, I think we agreed you pretty much want to escalate. You want to start small. You start with a, hey, bear.
Right.
And maybe you go to, hey, bear, maybe get your hands up, bang a pot or pan or whatever, hey, bear. And if he doesn't move, and it's just one bear in his own, not a mother and her cubs, maybe you escalate to, what you talking about, bear?
Right.
Put a little slang on it. See if he responds to that. Maybe he will. Maybe he'll take off. Maybe he'll just kind of shrug his shoulders. We don't know. And you just keep escalating. I wasn't quite sure where the top of the line was, but I think Scottish is.
Right, Scottish is.
If you put a strong Scottish, bear, what are you doing? You give him one of those.
I think that's really good.
I think they're gonna go. I think he's gonna take off. And if he doesn't, you might want to back away.
But I mean, main thing is, we're not out here like people think that you're out here. There's like bears everywhere. We're not fighting off bears.
Right.
Every single day. It's not like every day it's like, oh gosh, there's another bear. We have to fight it off. We have to defend our campsite.
Right. Nick didn't have to roundhouse kick a bear to get to the portage.
Right. It's
or
not
portage.
It's not like that. People have like this grandiose idea that there are bears everywhere and their main objective is to attack your campsite and raid your food and do those things. It's just about being smart. Is all that it's about. In all my years of doing this, I've ran into 2 bears. One bear was a female with her cub, and that situation became a problem, and we got bluff charged because we weren't making noise, and that could be prevented. Other time I ran when a bear was on a trail and we were making noise, and it took off. So just be smart. And if you're staying at a campsite, like, keep your campsite clean for the next person. Don't leave fish remains for the next person to come to. Because that'd be the worst thing. Then a bear becomes habitual in coming to that campsite and things like that. And those types of bears can become problematic.
And develop a strong accent game.
That's right.
like some fake accents. Mine's not that strong right now, but I'm working on
I
it.
like it.
I've got a German one, but I'm saving it up because I don't want to.
Right.
It's pretty scary. I don't want to get into it. I'll say the number one thing that no one, not a single person is like. Everyone's like, oh my god, the bears. The freaking bugs.
Right.
Oh my god, the mosquitoes at night if there's no breeze. We were gonna stay up and I think do some marshmallows and stuff. No, we went to bed early last night because the
Right.
mosquitoes were just all over us. So
our goal for tomorrow is we're going to try to push up further on this lake, and we're gonna probably move campsites to another campsite, because what we like to do is kind of fish an area of the lake, and then kind of move on. So whether if it's good tomorrow, we're gonna push on and have a new campsite tomorrow. So tomorrow will be kind of a moving day, is what it will be for us. So hopefully tomorrow we'll also catch some fish on the way. We're going to do a smoked fish tomorrow, smoked or grilled fish. Probably grilled tomorrow, and we'll do smoked a little bit later on in the week. But we're kind of debating right now because fishing was really good. We had some really nice fish on the line today. It's kind of hard to leave this part of the lake, but
we got a pretty good gig here.
right.
Cool.
So stay tuned, guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll show you what our bear hang looks like as well. So
GoPro, stop recording.